ways we can connect it? See, these are the ways we can connect. How many ways? 5 ways are there to connect. To connect 5 ways are there. From among these 5, we are selecting one way. Okay, these are the advantages. No delay authentication and integrity. Each node authenticated by its parent node. And these are some of the results. We are implementing this work by using MATLAB. Then it's asking number of nodes, and this is our output. It's not completed, it is a partial. And these are some of the screenshots. And this is a future plan. And this is about the conclusion. Some of it.
So are you not interested in the sensor networks? So most of these students are from which class? UG? Okay. Which year? Final year MCA? BCA? Okay. And what about MCA and MSc? Anyway, any queries? No. Okay, thank you, Nagar. So now we'll start with session paper presentation. Fine, and first talk would be from Preeti Tiwari and Anubha Jain. Their title is A Study of Hybrids for Ant Colony Optimization Algorithm.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Preeti Tiwari along with Anubha ma'am. We present a paper on the study on the hybrids of ant colony optimization. We've all heard about ants. I'll just take a brief on the contents. First, I'll start with the introduction to ant colony optimization algorithm, then the need for the hybrids, then implementation of the hybrids of ant colony optimization onto various applications, conclusion and the references. We've all seen ants working, and we must have observed that the ants follow a common path. All the ants would disperse and then ultimately they would follow a common path, and there is a very scientific reason of following this particular path. We see that ants are social societies wherein they have got a very beautiful feature of finding out the shortest path from the food to the nest and back, right? So this behavior of ants was studied by 3 Italian scientists, and it was Sir Dorigo who proposed this algorithm, and it's a bionic optimization algorithm which inspired them to use the probabilistic techniques to solve the combinatorial optimization problem. When we talk about combinatorial optimization problem, we are basically dealing with those kinds of problems where the solution set is huge and we have to find out the best solution within the shortest given time. Moving on to the characteristics, there are n number of characteristics for ACO algorithm, like intelligence and powerful search algorithm. They help in global optimizations. They have distributed computing ability. They have parallel processing ability. They are applied to combinatorial optimization problems. They have a positive feedback mechanism, high convergence speed. Convergence speed means the time to take out the best solution, and they are robust. They work concurrently, they can work simultaneously and independently, and they have the ability to search vast amplitude of the answers. The diagram given here, you can see that the ants will randomly move in all directions. Once there is a blockage in between, we will slowly see that the ants will finally follow the shortest path. These are certain advantages which we see, that the positive feedback mechanism of the ant helps in producing good solutions. The negative feedback mechanism also helps in removing those bad solutions. It has high convergence speed, that means we can gain optimal solutions. They have high quality solutions which help in global optimizations for huge problems. They have distributed computing ability which avoids premature convergence. That means the algorithm runs for sufficient time. They have probabilistic techniques. A lot of probability solutions can be applied, and stick merging. That means they have the ability to respond to the environment, and they can discover the shortest path. Now let's see the working of the ant. We can see in the diagram above that when we are talking about an ant, the ant travels from the food to the nest, from the nest to the food and vice versa. During the path, they deposit a substance called pheromone. Now this pheromone concentration, as it goes on increasing on the shortest path, slowly all the ants decide to choose that path which has got higher concentration of pheromone, and the end result is that all the colonies follow the same path which is the shortest one. This was encoded by the three Italian scholars, and it became a bionic optimization algorithm. This was the characteristic which was encoded. The algorithm was proposed in 3 steps. This is the shortest one to propose. We construct the ant solution, wherein we are using artificial ants to construct the solution elements from the finite set of solutions which are available. Then a local search is applied in order to obtain the concentration of the pheromone, and finally the update of pheromone takes place globally, which says that for optimal solution the pheromone concentration is increased on the shorter path, and evaporation method takes place in order to remove the solutions which have got higher number of which has got lower number of pheromone distribution. After having so many positive characteristics and so many advantages, there are some limitations added on to this algorithm. The first one is it has no systematic way of startup. When we distribute the artificial ant, they try to run in all the directions, and towards the end they tend to follow a shorter path. So that no systematic way of startup leads to no initial formation of the ant colony optimization algorithm. And because of this, in the beginning there is slow convergence. That means the speed taken to find the optimal solution, it gets the time taken to find the optimal solution gets increased slowly, and the positive feedback mechanism cannot be used for global solution. So the scientists suggested that a hybrid of ant colony optimization must be created, wherein various algorithms have been clubbed up with ACO in different formats and applied on various applications so as to study the effect of the hybrid of ACO. I'll be taking up the effect of dynamic programming and ACO, the effect of ACO and genetic algorithm, and vice versa, GA and ACO, and the last one is ACO with particle swarm optimization. I'll start with the first one. This algorithm was proposed by Sir Tansel, and it was applied in the distributed query optimization, wherein we know that when the problem size increases, the trackability of dynamic programming is a big constraint. To overcome that constraint, ACO was combined and faster solutions were being generated. The next one was a combination of genetic algorithm and the a form of ant colony optimization, which is a best worst ant algorithm. This was applied in relational database management system on multi-join query optimization problem. They started with the genetic algorithm with the crossover mutation and chromosome and population generation. Once the population was generated, they overcame the problem of no systematic startup of ACO. That limitation was covered up, and then the solution was given to the ACO. You can see out here, this one is ACO and this entire thing is GA. So it's a complete combination wherein GA overcomes the problem of no systematic startup of ACO, and this algorithm proved to be very viable solution in case of relational database management system. The next one was again a fusion of GA and ACO. This was implemented on traffic signal control problem, wherein they started with again GA genetic algorithm. They performed selection crossover mutation until the maximum number of iterations was reached, and then the near optimal solution was passed on to ant colony optimization till the complete path was searched and the end result, the optimal solutions were generated. It was observed that the traffic signal control problems became very efficient and the performance was also increased. Then the next one was a combination of GA and ACO and GA on the wireless mesh network. We can see that the text which is quoted in yellow is the implementation of ant colony optimization, wherein they were searching the routing paths, they were searching the shortest routing path, and then this solution was passed over to the genetic algorithm for crossover and mutation. It was also observed that the output was, the end result was at par with the ACO and GA implemented individually. The next one was again a combination of ACO and GA. This was implemented on the join order problem of relational database. Here it was a mix of ant colony optimization and genetic algorithm. Both the concepts were intermingled with each other. They started with ACO, which created query execution plans. These plans were passed on to GA. Then for recombination, then the GA creates new generation of query execution plans with the help of mutation. It was then passed on back to the ACO for global updates, and then the positive feedback mechanism was used in order to create better result. So step by step were intermingled of GA and ACO in order to find out better solutions on relational databases. Another combination was again of ACO and GA. This was implemented on the traveling salesman problem. Here the scientist also mixed up the two approaches, wherein the cycles of the population was created by ant colony optimization. Then this was initialized as the cities. We know the traveling salesman problem. A salesman has to travel to multiple cities in order to find out the shortest path. This was done with the help of ACO and GA. And then the next one was given to GA. Whatever is written in the shaded boxes is GA, and whatever is there in the white boxes is the implementation of ACO. So they've also mixed up both the algorithms in order to create better solutions for the traveling salesman problem. The last one studied was ACO and PSO. PSO stands for particle swarm optimization, wherein the PSO was generating the initial solution for ant colony optimization. Then ACO was using a positive feedback mechanism for the renewal of the solutions. It was again passed back to PSO to perform the across and mutation operator, and the result was finally generated by PSO. So again a mix of these algorithms. After studying the hybrids of these algorithms, it was observed that ACO hybrids have got an improvement and edge over using ACO alone. That means these hybrids improved the initial convergence speeds of the algorithm. They increased the population scattering ability of ACO. They developed new methods for using artificial intelligence to solve ill-structured problems, and they could handle time and space complexity in a better way, and they could solve the problems of trackability. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti.
Any questions?
Now questions, please.
I have few questions.
Yes, sir.
First, the basic questions. What parameter and what constraints used for bionic algorithm? At the time of designing bionic algorithm, what constraints must be considered by the designer, or what parameters used within the bionic algorithm?
Sir, it depends on the bionic algorithm which we are using.
I'm talking about the basic bionic algorithms. I'm not talking about the modification of the existing one.
Um, so like the time, the speed. I mean, in which context are you?
I'm talking about your topic. You use it, no?
Like I have worked on ACO.
Okay.
I have worked on ant colony optimization.
Okay. Within that, you use a meta-heuristic algorithm, ACO with the meta-heuristic.
So I've only used the ant system till now.
I think you refer only 2 papers.
No, sir. No. No, I have not referred to papers. I have referred the applications of the hybrids on various
Within the
applications.
whole presentation, you mentioned the references. That means you cited only 2 papers
No,
within
sir.
your presentation. But anyway, go through your presentation and okay. At the time of designing artificial ant, what parameters we require?
We require the pheromones, tau, alpha, beta. There are certain parameters which need to be
For a
predefined.
pheromones, what functions you require to defining a pheromones for artificial ant?
Sir, ants are defined, then pheromone value is defined. Which
Like the all-time fix or something
no,
else? There is a variable value.
which is variable, but which will keep on increasing as and when the ant travels through its path.
Okay.
These parameters, we are talking about updates of the pheromone. The ant will follow that path where there is maximum concentration of pheromone. So pheromone is first taken as a variable, then its concentration will get increased as and when the ant follows its path and it covers up the particular distance. And this will
Maybe the value of pheromones are different for the path.
it will increase. We fix a value in the initial step and then simultaneously as the algorithm proceeds, the value will keep on changing. Because the behavior of ant says wherever there is higher concentration of the pheromone, that is going to be a shorter path. So as an ant travels the complete path, then it goes for the updation of the pheromone, which decides that which path to choose. Like if we implement it in TSP there would be number of paths that would be taken up to cover it up.
Thank you. Okay, the next presentation would be comparison of delay, load and throughput in IEEE 802.16 WiMAX by varying the network size by Priya Bawal, Anup Bhola, Chandra Jha.
Good afternoon all, myself Priya, MTech CS from Manasli University. Comparisons of delay, load and throughput in IEEE 802.16 WiMAX by varying the network size. WiMAX is an emerging technology in telecommunication industry which offers variable and high data rate and QoS. WiMAX is the advanced version of Wi-Fi. In this paper, 3 different WiMAX networks have been taken and emulated. The OpNet modeler, a simulation program tool, was used to study networks with 4, 18 and 30 mobile nodes. The result obtained was helpful in emulating QoS attributes for WiMAX network, and it has been observed that by increasing the number of mobile nodes for WiMAX network, an optimized value of QoS parameter could be obtained. Let's start with introduction. WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Wireless Access. This wireless technology is based on IEEE 802.16 and Wireless Metropolitan Area Network. WiMAX is of 2 types, fixed WiMAX and mobile WiMAX. Specified for access within the range of 15 km and maximized data rate 75 Mbps. Literature review.
The first literature review is OpenNet-based simulation and investigation of WiMAX network using different QoS. Each they author proposed the simulation and evaluation of three different WiMAX networks. The modeler was used to study networks with 15, 25, and 40 mobile workstations. The second literature review is performance evaluation of QoS parameter in WiMAX network. They author focused on analyzing the important QoS parameter delay, load, throughput, and packet loss in WiMAX network with the help of 3 to 35 mobile nodes. Performance evaluation of QoS parameter in WiMAX network. They explain an efficient scheduling algorithm which is important for the WiMAX system. The various traffic scheduling algorithms are present in wireless network. Example: round robin, proportional fairness. OpenNet modeler. OpenNet can be defined as a network simulation package which provides performance analysis of computer networks and applications. The OpenNet modeler is object-oriented. OpenNet modeler is there three types: network model, node model, and process model. Network model is consists of links, node, and subnet. Node model specify object in network domain. Process model, it specifies the object in node model. Network designed for QoS simulation. We have created three network models. Each base station is connected to the IP backbone. The different number of mobile nodes and base station, and three components are used: application config, profile config, and WiMAX config. And base station and transmission power is set to 0.50 watt. The path loss and multipath model are set to vehicular. The simulation time is taken for 30 minutes. The next scenario, the WiMAX network with 2 cells and 4 mobile nodes are configured with 2 cells and 4 mobile nodes. In scenario 2, the number of cells and mobile nodes are increased to 6 cells and 18 mobile nodes. In scenario 3, WiMAX network with randomly selected for 6 cells and 30 mobile nodes to increase. Simulation parameter for QoS, the subscriber station parameter and base station parameter. You can have a look on the table. Simulation results. The paper investigates the performance of wireless network using different quality of services which are explained. Quality of services and performance parameter. Quality of services represents the whole performance of a WiMAX network as experienced by the user of that network. Performance parameter. The performance parameters are used to analyze simulation which represent the characteristics of the overall WiMAX network performance. These parameters are delay, load, and throughput. Delay. Thus, the blue line is shown in scenario 1. The red and green line are indicated in scenario 2 and scenario 3. In scenario 1, the maximum delay is 0.01744. In scenario 1, the mobile nodes are less. In scenario 2, the delay is 0.01956. The mobile nodes are increased to 18. In scenario 3, the delay is 0.01984. The mobile nodes are increased to 30. Load. In scenario 1, the maximum load is 1119.74 packets per second. In mobile nodes are less. In scenario 2, the maximum load is 3493.33. Then third scenario, the maximum load is 5956.09 packets per second load. The mobile nodes are increased to 30. Throughput. In scenario 1, the throughput the value of throughput should be high. In scenario 1, the value of throughput in scenario 1 the value of throughput is minimum 874.86 packets per second. In scenario 2, the maximum throughput is 1585.69 packets per second. In scenario 3, the maximum throughput is 2176.23 packets per second. About this result, the finally conclude with the help of this observation obtained from different WiMAX scenario. It was found that as number of mobile nodes increase, the value of QoS parameter, delay, load, and throughput also increase. And by increasing the number of mobile nodes for WiMAX network, an optimized value of QoS parameter is obtained. References.
Right. So, questions from your side. WiMAX का तो नाम सुना है ना? नहीं सुना? इस पे तो कुछ पूछना चाहिए, नहीं पूछना चाहिए, हैं? सर को नहीं पूछने दूंगा, मना कर दूंगा, सर नहीं पूछेंगे क्वेश्चन। आप में से कौन पूछेगा? पूछना चाहिए ना। बीएससी क्या बीसीए? फाइन। बीसीए वाला मुझे काम की चीज है। बीएसएन में नौकरी चाहिए तो फिर आना चाहिए ना WiMAX क्या होता है। नहीं, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया। Yes, come on. At least one question from anyone. तो तुम पड़ोस में से पूछ रही हो क्वेश्चन? You? Yes. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. उधर से third. हाँ, yes. You. हाँ, खड़ी हो जरा। अरे क्वेश्चन तो पूछना चाहिए ना? नहीं। You know WiMAX? हाँ, पता है WiMAX क्या होता है? पता है या नहीं पता? तो यही पूछ लोगे, समझ में नहीं आया WiMAX क्या होता है, समझाओ ढंग से। Tell her what is WiMAX.
WiMAX is the advanced version of Wi-Fi.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं, डेफिनेशन नहीं, ढंग से समझाओ, उसकी समझ में आना चाहिए। नो? अरे तुम रिसर्च कर रही हो, you should know what is WiMAX. हैं? Yes. जब तक उसकी वो नहीं कह देगी समझ में नहीं आएगा, जब तक तुम नीचे नहीं जाओगे। I don't know, you have to explain. क्या कर रही हो? एमटेक कर रही हो ना?
Yes, sir.
कल को इनके कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ाने आ गई तो क्या करोगी?
WiMAX एक तो डेटा रेट बहुत हाई होती है।
नहीं, WiMAX बताना, डेटा रेट भी नहीं बताना है, ना थ्रूपुट बताना है, ना डिले बतानी है, ना ही और क्या था?
Just the basic of it.
Yes.
ये वायरलेस टेक्नोलॉजी है। ये बेस्ड होती है IEEE 802.16।
Why it is called WiMAX?
Wi-Fi का सर एडवांस वर्जन।
That is fine. But why WiMAX? Tell.
कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी सर।
Is it your MTech thesis?
Yes, sir.
I think she is doing it.
What problem you have identified in WiMAX?
Problem?
WiMAX is the service.
Yes, sir.
That service we
Sir,
can
many
find.
problems, sir. So lot of.
So what is the advantage of having WiMAX over Wi-Fi? Basic advantage.
सर जैसे अपलोड लार्ज फाइल को अपलोड कर
No,
सकते हैं।
that is not it. You can upload the large file on Wi-Fi. Why not? What do you want to achieve? When we talk about the higher standards in wireless communication, what is our main objective? क्या चाहिए हमें? Speed चाहिए. Fine. So we talk about bandwidths. Okay.
हाई बैंडविड्थ होती है।
Yeah. So as we move on higher standards, right? It's starting from 802.11 onwards.
Yes, sir. Wi-Fi.
So whenever we got higher bandwidth, we talk about the higher standards. Okay, it's not only about the speed. There are the many parameters over which we talk about. Okay, the security is another issue. Then energy saving and so many issues are there. But as far as the use is concerned,
problem, sir.
right? It is
problem.
the speed basically. So can you tell them what is the maximum speed you can achieve with this WiMAX?
50 Mbps.
50. वो तो 802.11 से ही मिल जाएगी 16 पे जाने की
75 sir,
जरूरत
75 Mbps sir. Sorry sir.
नहीं। चलो थैंक यू। So third presentation series is to scrutinize the parameters that affect the training of neural network model. Derika Chachia? Yeah. Sorry. Amita Sharma.
I'm Devika Chachia from IIS University. My paper title is to scrutinize the parameters that affect the training of neural network model. These are the contents of my paper: abstract, feed-forward neural network, backpropagation algorithm, parameters that affect the training of neural networks. This paper aims to study different parameters which affect the convergence of the backpropagation algorithm to provide better accuracy in the classification and prediction problems. Backpropagation algorithm is most accepted and premier training procedure for feed-forward neural network architecture. ANN is a mathematical model based on the human nervous system which employs backpropagation algorithm for the training and testing phase. Backpropagation algorithm minimizes the error function iteratively based on the gradient descent technique. This paper gives a brief review about the different parameters that affect the training of the network. There is no definite and optimal method to select these parameters. It greatly depends upon the size and nature of the data, which varies from problem to problem. It is not necessary that the large size network gives an accurate and efficient classification results, and it should be such that it can learn the characteristics of the data and establish relationship between input and output variables. There are several factors that play a crucial role in neural network training, such as number of iterations the algorithm should run, transfer functions, that is also known as activation functions, the type of data, value of the momentum, learning rate, activation functions, number of hidden layers, and many more. What is feed-forward neural network? In this network, output of one layer of the neurons feeds forward into the next layer of neurons.
Sorry to interrupt you. How many of you know about neural networks? Do you know the word neural network? No? First you should define what is neural network, right? Because you have to see the gathering is from BCA, so I think otherwise talking here it would be no use. Okay? So define in one or two lines what are
neural network is a classification technique used in data mining. Data mining मतलब large data sets में से हम हमारे relevant results कैसे extract कर सकते हैं. For example, अगर हमें attendance का पता करना है, तो first we have to collect the data relevant to the problem.
No, first you should define what is neural network, right? Not
Sir,
the application.
data mining की बाद में.
No. Data mining बाद में आया बहुत बाद में, right? You should talk about what is neural network.
So, classification के लिए.
No, it's not the mapping of our brain.
Yeah.
In terms of some network in computer.
It establishes relationship between
so
input
it is
and
some
output
sort of an intelligent
parameters.
machine you want to build, okay, in a computer.
Relationship
So
establish
you
करता है
want to
input and
really
output parameters.
create your brain inside computer. So what we have done, we have talked about the neural networks. It came from the neurons. We have neurons in our mind, okay, and that neuron network of your mind is basically depends you to make you intelligent. The neuron निकाल देंगे तो आप intelligent नहीं रहोगे, ठीक है? So the word came from there, and therefore we have so many things because we are being get trained from the childhood. Okay, if you remember, you don't know even 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So slowly you learn. The same thing we are doing here. So we have a large number of algorithms how to train these networks and right make them intelligent. So that is the basic talk here. Fine. Yes.
There is no backward connection, only forward flow of information is present. Feed forward neural network में हम पहले नेटवर्क को ट्रेन करते हैं, हम उसको एग्जांपल्स के थ्रू उसको नेटवर्क लर्न करता है कि एक्चुअली उसे क्या चाहिए, जैसे हम A फॉर एप्पल हमें पहले लर्न कराया जाता है, उसके बाद वो हम उसे हमेशा याद रखते हैं कि A फॉर एप्पल होता है, वी रिकॉग्नाइज। इसी तरह से हम उसे पैटर्न्स को पहले लर्न करते हैं, उसको आउटपुट देते हैं, तो वो उससे क्या करता है, लर्न करता है। फिर नेक्स्ट टाइम जब हम उसे कोई अननोन डेटा सेट देते हैं सिमिलर टू दैट प्रीवियस डेटा सेट, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली लर्न करता है और उस पर्टिकुलर क्लासेस में हमारे डेटा को क्लासीफाई करता है। One of the most significant types of feed-forward neural network is back propagation algorithm. इसमें आउटपुट हम जो है नेटवर्क को प्रोवाइड करते हैं, और जैसे जैसे वो लर्न करता है वो वेट्स जो एसोसिएटेड वेट्स है न्यूरॉन्स के, उसको बैक प्रोपोगेट करता है और फिर फर्दर वेट एडजस्ट करता है तब तक कि हमारा रिक्वायर्ड एक्यूरेसी अटेन नहीं हो जाता। This is the back propagation algorithm. First we initialize the weights, रैंडम वैल्यूज रैंडम सेलेक्ट करते हैं इनिशियल स्टेप में हम लोग, उसके बाद हम उसको इटरेशंस के साथ वो सेट करते जाता है बैक प्रोपगेशन एल्गोरिथम। इनपुट और आउटपुट वैल्यूज को हम रीड करते हैं, उसके बाद हम कंप्यूट करते हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द कैलकुलेटिंग वेटेड सम ऑफ द इनपुट न्यूरॉन्स पासिंग थ्रू द एक्टिवेशन फंक्शन एंड प्रोपगेटिंग थ्रू द लेयर्स। फिर कंप्यूट मीन स्क्वायर एरर, और हमारा जो एम होता है वो टू मिनिमाइज द मीन स्क्वायर एरर, and then we adjust according to the error obtained weights. These are the most important parameters that affect the training of neural network algorithms. First of all, सबसे पहले जो है data should be normalized. If data is not normalized, then it will not give the desired results which we want. It is used to scale the data in the same range of values for each input feature in order to minimize the bias within the neural network for one feature to another. These are the several techniques used for data normalization: min-max, z-score, z-decimal scaling, medians normalization. Network architecture. In neural network architecture, basically 3 layers are present: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. In input layer consists of the input neurons, that is number of inputs you provide to the architecture. हिडन लेयर्स हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करता है हम कितना लेना चाहते हैं। बेसिकली जनरली प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए हम 1 to 2 हिडन लेयर्स लेते हैं। देन फाइनल इज द आउटपुट लेयर, जो हमारा आउटपुट जो है वो आउटपुट लेयर के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। Activation function. An activation function is used to limit the amplitude of the output neuron. It generates an output value for a node in a predefined range of 0 to 1 or -1 to 1. बहुत सारे एक्टिवेशन फंक्शंस अवेलेबल है: लॉजिस्टिक सिग्मॉइड फंक्शन, हाइपरबोलिक टेंजेंट फंक्शन, स्टेप एक्टिवेशन फंक्शंस। लर्निंग रेट पैरामीटर प्रोवाइड्स,
you can summarize, right? Leave them.
learning rate, momentum, learning algorithm. For beginners, if anyone wants to work with neural networks, it is very important to understand these parameters and their necessity for the training of neural network. अगर ये parameters को adjust नहीं किया जाता है, इनको ढंग से data के accordingly adjust करके train नहीं कराया जाता, तो हमें कभी भी desired accuracy नहीं provide हो सकती. This is my conclusion.
Okay, any question now?
What is your contribution?
So this is a brief review.
The title is Scrutinize the Parameters that Affect the Training of Neural Network Model. Already they are mentioned in the various books. So what is your contribution within this paper?
So parameters beginners के लिए है, क्योंकि then I read, तो एक बिगिनर्स के लिए ज़रूरी है कि सारे पैरामीटर्स हमें पता हो एक जगह पर, तो हम उसको पढ़ सकें और समझ
No,
के
try to understand the question. Question is not that the beginner, the question is, right, your title is to scrutinize the parameter that affects the training of neural network, fine? So what conclusion you have drawn? Have you developed some strategy or a method to suggest this is the way to scrutinize the most important parameter to be
So
taken
that
for
is
training?
what I have said, that there is no
What is your
definite
contribution?
theory or
That is the literature review, fine?
सभी
What is your
प्रैक्टिकल
contribution?
पेपर नहीं है.
Okay, thank you. Right.
At Enjap University, Jaipur, and My today's topic is just a literature review about data mining and KDD, that stands for Knowledge Discovery in Database. So the conference interview I will talk about what is data mining, first of all. Next, KDD, data warehouse and linking of that data warehouse with data mining. OLAP, that stands for Online Analytical Processing with data mining. KDD process, applications of DM, that is data mining, and then conclusion. Now, what is data mining? It is an iterative process. If we talk about computer science, so there is only one aspect, that is data. And before that, there is another aspect, that is processing of that data. We have input. Second, processing of that input to convert that input into information. So what we require is information. Now, in a large set of database, the data is only considered as debris, that is unwanted part of data, which is not generally required by the organization if we talk about decision making or decision support system. Why data mining? What is the requirement of data mining? First of all, the volume of data is so large, it is tremendous. So to decrease the extraction level of the data to sum up into only a single unit, data mining is required. So I have two aspects for that. The number of records are too large. You cannot imagine the amount of data the database recites. Second, high dimensional, that is attributes, fields in the database. Next, very little data will be looked by the human. Only the desired part of data is looked by them, and the rest of the part of data they consider as debris. They don't even consider that part. Sorry. Next, knowledge discovery, which is a technique in which data mining is a phase where data is extracted, loaded, transformed, and then converted into meaningful information. Next, elements of data mining. What are the typical elements of data mining? First one is problem specification. Without discussing the problem, usage of MIS, that stands for Management Information System, Decision Support System, is useless. So we have to specify what are the problematic areas. Second, task. What kind of task we are going to perform with that data, what kind of functionalities that data will perform. Third, kind of knowledge, background knowledge, specific algorithms or techniques which will be applied during data mining techniques application, models that are developed by researchers to extract knowledge from that database, intelligence, interestingness, and user. These are the tasks which are done by data mining. Classification. This is to classify the data into several classes. Regression, deviation and changes. Clustering. That is to divide several objects as a group of similar kind of data. Data modeling. Then summarization of that data into a single unit. That means to integrate the data. Data mining works with data warehouse. Data warehouse, I can say it is a small kind of data mart. The extracted part of data is kept in another database, and that small database is known as a data warehouse. Mining techniques are applied on that part of data in the data warehouse. The most common form of data integration, first copy sources into single database, that is data warehouse, and try to keep it up to date. Second, usual methods, periodic reconstruction of the data warehouse is very necessary, frequently essential for analysis queries. OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. As the data is increasing, OLAP summarizes the data from the data warehouse. Now, some of the data mining techniques which I would like to discuss with you. First one is classification, just to classify the data into several classes. These data will be divided into several parts, and then the data which we want to extract, we have to only gather those data. Second, clustering. Third, k-nearest neighbor. K-nearest neighbor is the most interesting technique, and it is based on the prediction of the data. For example, I want to find out from you all audience that how many of you I'm talking about music genre, how many of you like hip-hop? Raise your hands. Hip-hop. Classical? Only a few. Rock? Okay. So from this we can see that you all guys who like hip-hop kind of music are happy-go kind of lucky nature. Classical will be kind of boring. So I will categorize that part into boring, interesting, very interesting, fun-loving kind of categories. This is all about K, nearest neighbor. Here K stands for an individual or a group of individuals that will work together or can contain similar kind of nature. This is the graphical representation of K nearest neighbors. The one in the circles are the neighbors of each other, which possesses happy-go-lucky kind of nature. If we talk about you, this star is classical. Bhir mein akela. Yes. Now comes next part, KDD. Knowledge data for discovery. KDD is an automatic extraction of non-obvious hidden knowledge from the database. The overall objective of my paper is to let you understand about how the data is extracted and the hidden knowledge is extracted by the user. So this is the data, 10 to the power of 4 to 10 to the power of 16 bytes is processed, is kept in a data warehouse where data mining techniques are applied, and then it will result into useful, knowledgeable information. If I talk about growth of any organization, so it will help in that. Data, the volume of data will be enormous, and if I refine it or if I filter it, it will convert into a single knowledge that is known as knowledge. This is the process of data. This is the process of KDD. Putting the results. First of all, all the data is considered as a debris. Then it is refined. It is transformed. It is cleaned, and it is then applied data mining techniques. Now, potential applications. Where can I use it? Business information, manufacturing information, scientific information, and most important application, which is a current topic, that is total information awareness. This kind of technique works on the tracking of potential terrorists or the unauthorized users who do such malicious activities. And this is the conclusion. Data mining supports MIS, decision support system. The result of data mining may be discovered from the following types: association rules, sequential patterns, classification trees. Scientific and economic benefits of KDD are also there, which I have already discussed with you. KDD is also known as fuzzy categorical knowledge. And these are the resource pointers.
Okay, any question?
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask what research you're doing. What is your goal in data mining? What do you want to do?
This is a literature review. Actually, I'm new to this field, so I'm basically work on it. I want to pursue my PhD in this section, so I will continue to do this.
Okay.
It's a research.
Kenny, I think I should suggest it's better to look now big data rather than data mining, right?
Yes, of course.
That is the new area where you should look.
Yes, sir.
Right? This is the old one now, the data mining.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Talk from Reshu Goyal, Praveen Dhyani, and Om Prakash Rishi. Magic to figure out user choice, the like.
Good afternoon, everybody. My topic, I don't know, it seems interesting to everybody, but probably I'm concentrating on the most happening website, that is the Facebook. So, though we cover up the like part in maximum of the websites nowadays, so probably we all have an idea of what like is all about. Like is the user preference we are talking here. So, this is the content. Needless to go about the importance of social media, the popular websites like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So, these have all gone into the details of what social media, telling importance of social media in different fields and aspects. Agree to the fact that social media is very important. Instead of going via hierarchical side, I would like to take you to the last side first, so that it gives you the clear glimpse of what actually I want to speak about. So this is a proposed system. This is a system to be developed, which we have in mind to develop in future. That it is a kind of a structure which is basically based on like minor. So we call it as a like minor because here we give the preference to the users on the basis of their likings. So we have categorized the user likings on different aspects like the visual part and the textual part here preferably, and the visual part again categorizes up to the photographs or the graphics posted, and the textual part, if we talk about, it is basically laid on the comments or the status or the any kind of messages which has been updated on the websites. So primarily, if we talk about the like model, it is nothing but a correlation of the nodes and the edges if we talk in broad. Now what are the nodes? Nodes are basically nothing but the objects or the pages or the users we belong to, and the edges are the links which we have on the websites. In a layman language, objects you link to, you like to, users you are in friends with, or probably the pages you are in friends with, or maybe the pages you like. See, this model has become very popular, or why this was an area of interest for everybody, or why it is a topic of interest or talked about in large, is basically whether it is a celebrity, whether it is a political icon, whether it is a student, everybody likes the study which they reveal to be appreciated. So probably if user likes a framework, he may hit to that, and probably that is that is preferred on the basis of the system. So we do the extractions, or we gain the popularity. Ultimate benefits of this kind of systems will come when user will prefer, and we can find out the user's interest on a particular thing. And probably if we talk in terms of movies, then TRPs of the movies can be sorted out. Probably in case of an educational material, then probably the most liked or the most preferred educational material on the websites, or maybe whatever is liked or sorted by the users or most preferred by the users. This can again be used as a source of advertising, or maybe used as a source of promotion schemes for the companies again. So this is in brief what is all about the like minor tool. In case any questions.
Right, any question? So you don't like tool, right?
Probably they may liking the like part of it. Most of us are users of Facebook, so I think everybody can correlate with it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Reshu. Okay. I hope some something you might have extracted, right? Maybe useful because we have a audience class from UG, that to BCA, and right, most of the talks were based on the literature survey. But anyhow, you have to find out in which direction you have to really go. So whenever you are sitting in a presentation, don't sit just like you have been bound to listen something. Fine? Because you know the future is really very competitive. So unless until you know the new technologies, at least the name, or you know somewhat know-how, that will help you. Those who are trying to do, I think most of you will definitely go for MCA. No? नहीं करोगे MCA. What is the reason why? पढ़ के थके. अच्छा. That's good. So I think we should thank to all the presenters here and authors of the paper, and at the same time the organizers. And I should congratulate Anubha for organizing at least this conference, which will be useful anyhow. At least you learn so many things by organizing these conferences apart from gaining the knowledge. Thank you once again, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to chair this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this valuable session.
With this, we come to the end of the second technical session. Hope you all had an enriching experience. We will now begin with the Technical Session 3 tomorrow at 9:30 a.m.